Hey yo, what is up everybody, Chuck here, and welcome to the first ever episode of the top 5 worst Pokemon Go sightings. Now normally when we do these countdowns, we showcase the best of the best sightings from Pokemon Go, and it makes the average player feel really terrible about themselves. But what this series is going to do is it's going to make you realize, maybe I'm not that unlucky. Because the people in this video today are the unluckiest people in Pokemon Go history. Let's get into it. We're gonna kick this series off with a couple of nearby lists that will make you want to throw up in your mouth. These sightings are that bad. First up, we've got Cardo, who ran into a Weedle and ate Rattata. Now the reason Rattata is the absolute worst in Pokemon Go is because they take more than twice as many candy to evolve as opposed to a Pidgey. So what would be worse, you may ask, than 8 Rattatas and 1 Weedle? 9 Rattatas. Matt encountered the dreadful 9 Rattatas on one nearby list. Now that's just depressing because that means you literally have there's no other option. You're gonna catch a Rattata or you're not gonna catch anything at all. I would take not anything at all. I don't want a Rattata. Moving on. Now normally on my channel, when I showcase the cluster spawn, you'll see like a Snorlax and a Venusaur, and it'll be like, oh my god, I wish I had that. This is a cluster spawn you wish you didn't have. Phil stumbled across 3 Weedles, a Kakuna, 5 Pidgeys, and 6 Rattatas, and that's it. 15 awful Pokemon. Congratulations, Phil. I don't even know, am I supposed to congratulate? You're the 4th worst. Congratulations on being the 4th worst. Moving on. This next part is probably the reason a lot of you guys wanted this series to become a thing. You want to see people suffer, right? You guys like watching me suffer. So imagine how terrible it would be to stumble across a really good Pokemon, a rare Pokemon that you may only come across once the entire time you play Pokemon Go. You check it out, and it has the worst CP possible. It happened a couple of times. Maguire encountered an 18 CP Lickitung, one of my favorites in the game, so that would be absolutely depressing. Another one of my favorites, Porygon. So imagine encountering a 22 CP Porygon in the wild. That's not all. Drew also ran into a 43 CP Snorlax, which is literally the absolute worst. They cannot get worse than a 43 CP Snorlax. I'm sorry. But it does get worse. Dean ran into a 31 CP Poliwrath with the most OP moveset in Pokemon Go, Bubble and Hydro Pump. To power it up from 31 CP would literally take like 300,000 Stardust. Dean, I'm sorry. But it gets even worse. Sophia ran into a 46 CP Dragonite. That's terrible. Another Pokemon that I've never even encountered in the wild, a 39 CP Lapras named Seagiggles. Adam, that is a very appropriate name. A 34 CP Aerodactyl sent in by Ben. Wait a second. What could be worse than a 34 CP Aerodactyl? 33. The worst of the worst, a 33 CP Aerodactyl sent in by Caleb. I would cry. If that was my first Aerodactyl and it was 33 CP, I think I would actually shed a tear. So thank you guys for suffering for us. Now moving on to number 2, we've got an entire section dedicated to one Pokemon. And I've said time and time again, this is one of the hardest Pokemon to find in the game. It's Muck. Urzo encountered a 35 CP Muck. As you can see, if you look at that little bar, it is all the way on the left. The absolute lowest CP possible for a Muck. Now that is terrible. I would definitely break my phone if I encountered a Muck and it was a 35 CP. But for a lot of people who play Pokemon Go, IVs are very important, okay? They'll hang on to the Pokemon that have high IVs and get rid of the ones with low IVs. I've never seen a Pokemon with 0 IVs. Until now. That's right, JC caught a 0% IVs Muck at 999 CP. Yes, the CP is pretty good, but 0% IVs. Don't believe me? Check this out. 0 attack, 0 defense, 0 stamina, 0% IVs. I didn't even know that was possible. When I catch a Pokemon and it's got 40% IVs, I'm like, damn, that's gotta be like the worst possible IVs for this Poke. No, 0's the worst. Now moving on to number 1, the top spot of the top 5 worst Pokemon Go sightings. We've got a couple collections of Pokemon that will make you cringe. Now they're great Pokemon, believe me, they're awesome, but there's something wrong with all of them. Now I want you guys to vote which one you think is better, or I think it's worse. Which one you think is worse? First up, we've got Savage, who's got 4 Scythers under 33 CP, a 33 CP Charizard, a 32 CP Venusaur, and a 31 CP Venusaur, 29 Magmar, 27 Seaking, 23 Dugong. That's terrible. But in my opinion, the worst ever and most depressing by far Pokemon Go sighting, it goes to Trey. Now, some people are gonna say he's lucky to have these Pokemon. And to that I say, would you really want them? Trey has 5 Dragonites under 48 CP. Now, if you recall, earlier in the countdown, we featured a 46 CP Dragonite, but I figured having 5 of them in that range is a little bit worse. Now, I only have 1, but at least mine is useful. I can throw it in a gym and it'll sit there for a couple weeks. These 5, it would take 18 million years to level them all up. I did the math. I just did it right now, and I'm guessing it's something like that. So you guys vote, which one do you think is worse? Savage's collection of a bunch of Pokemon under 37 CP that should be a lot higher, or Trey's collection of 5 awful Dragonites? You guys vote in the comment section below. Thank you everybody for watching. Congratulations on everybody who made the countdown. But then again, you don't really want to be featured in this countdown. This means you got really unlucky. If you enjoyed this video and you want more of this top 5 worst Pokemon Go sighting series, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Helps my channel out a ton. If you're new here and you like Pokemon Go, make sure to subscribe. Even if you don't like Pokemon Go, maybe you just like looking at me. I love you all. Take it easy.